World Surf League is the global home of professional competitive surfing.
Isabella Nichols takes down one of the biggest names in surfing.
The league represents thousands of athletes in various tours that span 6 continents. The top tier of competition is the Championship Tour. 34 men and 17 women who battled most of their lives to qualify for this level.
Carissa Moore, she surprised herself.
Yes. Here comes the unreal drop. That was scary. Big ramp, tail high punt, stomps it.
Welcome to the second stop of the 2021 WSL Championship Tour, the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup. Sports leagues around the globe have faced challenging times during the COVID-19 pandemic. The WSL has gone to extraordinary lengths to ensure its athletes can continue to compete safely.
We're ready to go. Oh, the flight's leaving.
To make the second leg of the Championship Tour possible, the WSL chartered a plane with 34 surfers and 46 family members from Los Angeles to Sydney.
It's a field trip, like a school field trip.
Upon arrival, all passengers quarantined for 14 days. And after clearing Australian federal and state requirements, the stage was set for the Championship Tour season to continue. For the first time in almost 20 years, the Championship Tour is back in Newcastle, located 100 miles north of Sydney on the New South Wales coast.
Newcastle is this amazing town that's got this real gritty industrial vibe, real working type of town, not afraid to get down and dirty and then have a good wave and a pint after with your friends.
This surfing city has a great surf culture. It's magic. People are passionate about their coastal lifestyle here. Most people start their day with a surf and finish it the same way.
It's not like small town, but it's not a huge city either. So it's like one of those medium towns where there's heaps going on and the people are lovely.
When you think about the big surf meccas of the world, Newcastle has to factor in. There's so much history at this location. So many world-class surfers have come out of this zone, including the 4-time world champion Mark Richards.
It wasn't until the surfers got out of quarantine and started appearing in Newcastle on our local beaches that I thought, wow, this is really happening.
Mark Richards in Australia is a god. And Mark's impact on Australian surfing and the area of Newcastle is still felt to this day. And it's awesome to be back here and just feel the buzz of the 4-time world champ.
With a 35-year history of hosting world champions, there is no venue more deserving of a CT than the city of Newcastle. Meriwether Beach is one of Australia's national surfing reserves. It features a variety of consistent waves.
Meriwether's like really well known for the little right-hander on the rocks. That's kind of always been the predominant contest spot. We also have a shore break just to the left of that. And then there's also another left further out the back. So we kind of have a couple of different breaks. It's a real beach break kind of vibe.
To win the comp, it's going to be someone that can adapt really quickly. The waves seem to change a lot here, whether it's a beach break down the beach or the rocks kind of rip bowl.
This part of the coast itself is very wave rich, and to have the Championship Tour come back here and just give the locals a bit of a glimpse of that kind of surfing and the culture that this tour travels with itself is really special.
John at back door, armbars the start, still traveling. In this pit, Florence comes out.
Hawaiian John Florence is the men's rankings leader, followed by Brazilians Gabriel Medina in second and Italo Ferreira in third. Florence climbed to the top of the leaderboard after a dominant performance at the Pipe Masters.
Let's go, boy!
Number 1 in the rankings, we've got John Florence. For John, the big hurdle was he finally won pipe. So he finally got to check off that event that he was supposed to win a long time ago. And now that he's back at world number 1, I mean, look out.
John Florence, the current world #1.
Everything's gone in favor of John at the moment, but I think he'll probably experience the most pressure of his career with all those big names gunning for him here at stop number 2 of the season.
As competition is called on, the two-time world champion faces rookie Morgan Siblick.
Morgan's got a lot to prove and maybe nothing to lose. You're surfing against a guy that's the best surfer in the world, current world #1. For Morgan, he's got the local crowd on his side, but it feels like it's just gonna be a pretty lopsided matchup.
And it's John Florence getting things started here. Just grinds through these carves so nicely.
John is just looking so good.
Have a look at this. This is the rookie, Morgan Siblick. He knows he's got to give it his best, and he did it in the opening exchange. Actually got the jump on John Florence and posted an 8.1. John Florence, the current world #1. And Morgan having a look at this one. Drives up into the lip. Explosive first turn. He is into the lead, and now the current #1 is after a 7.88 to get in first.
As we see the home crowd just cheering on Morgan Siblick. And, well, you can see, John, where he's going with this. He's going, okay, right, I'm going to dip into the bag of tricks, and I'm going to try and blow this kid away with some progression.
Well, Morgan, easy decision to take this ride. It's a good-looking wall. First turn strong. Second goes to the rail. Trying to better a 7.6 here. Big finish once again. The judges are absolutely loving what he's throwing down. He just put a 9.03 on the board. Hey, we were still trying to figure out how to say his last name a couple of months ago. But Morgan Siblick, he is powering through the round of 32. 2 excellent scores against the current world #1, and now he gives himself an opportunity to soak in this result. What do you bleed, mate?
Black and blue, baby. What do you guys think? It's so good to be down here, and I know we have definitely a little bit of local knowledge. Everybody cheering on the beach after every wave is amazing, so stoked.
As competition continues, the Brazilian storm shows up in a big way. The relentless attack of reigning world champion Italo Ferreira is unstoppable in the early round.
He's excited and he's happy to survive.
Two-time world champion Gabriel Medina is also an early round standout.
Yeah, I want to do the final here.
And Felipe Toledo is the last of 10 Brazilians to advance to the round of 32. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, the women's event begins, and rankings leader Tyler Wright faces American Courtney Conlog.
And that #1 in the world jersey could be in jeopardy.
Welcome back to Australia for the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup.
Carissa just belting it time and time again. Watch this with Steph, just so fast.
Wow, Tyler Wright, what a spectacular finish.
Australian Tyler Wright is in first place on the women's leaderboard. 4-time world champion Carissa Moore is in second, followed by Australian Sally Fitzgibbons and Brazilian Tatiana Weston Webb.
Tyler Wright taking out the Maui Pro, and now we're looking at your new world #1.
2-time world champion Tyler Wright took the first win of the season at the Maui Pro. Wright is excited to be back in the yellow jersey.
I am excited, but I spent a lot of time out, and I'm still finding myself in my, essentially in my career again.
She just wears that yellow jersey so comfortably. I don't think there's a stronger performer mentally on the championship tour than Tyler Wright. Tyler looks more focused, I think, than she did even in her previous world title campaigns.
After a 2-year hiatus, Wright is back on tour full-time.
I am really lucky to be here. The last few years have been a lot. I was out for 2 years, and I didn't just have to fight to come back to be a surfer. I had to fight to come back to be a human.
She came back just a completely different person, really comfortable in her own skin. I think she wants to use this platform to create social change, to advocate for equality.
surfing in general, I think we could do a better job of making sure this community is really connected and making sure that no one, kind of slips through the gaps. And specifically with our First Nations, with women, with LGBTQ+.
Tyler Wright of New, she's new and improved. She's driven by things that are beyond surfing. It's a scary thing for the tour, but it's great. I'm stoked to have her back.
I think we're seeing a real evolved individual.
I think at 14, I was able to see all the issues, but not have the words to articulate. And I see the 14-year-old kids, and I see the 14-year-old Tyler and the things that she needed, and she would have loved to have seen. So a lot of it comes from that, and just being a human being and compassionate to those that aren't included in surfing.
As competition is called on, Wright faces American Courtney Conlog.
Longtime rivals meeting once again. Courtney Conlog rolling in out the back. Big first turn with intensity. She'll jam it again. Tyler, meanwhile, was on the inside to kick off this heat, so Courtney had all the space she needed.
You got to be thinking it's a pretty risky strategy.
Tyler will chip away through the inside corner here.
This is a pretty slick ride.
Really fun to watch all the different types of turns. That second car was the money one for me.
Then she brings it on the inside and she loves it, and then, whoa.
She might be now joining Courtney. This might have been all part of the plan. Identifying a little inside run that you could have to yourself.
It's right there for both surfers to grab.
Courtney using priority. Now she's trying to make it count to improve on a 4.93.
Will that last wave? Yes, it did improve her position. So now Tyler needs a 6.64.
Here she goes. Roll number one digs in. Has a huge opportunity for a lead change. Snap to start, but incomplete.
Being on the outside there on equal terms may have been a better call.
A big knockout. World number one exits here in the round of 16.
It's a big playing field out there. You could see it was split between inside and outside. So I rolled the dice, we bet on me, and it was pretty close in the end. But Courtney did well, and she made the most.
Just gotta bring the best version of you, honestly. And right now my approach is just you let go and you trust in the process and follow your intuition. And so I just backed myself out there and it all worked out.
The round of 16 continues with four-time world champion Carissa Moore facing local wildcard Felipe Anderson.
Carissa Moore getting things started pretty early at 6.67 on her very first wave.
Yeah, just getting weightless on that first hit outside and then just grinding those huge rail carves that we're so accustomed to seeing with Carissa Moore, bringing them all the way through to the inside and just putting a really polished performance together.
Well, the fire is burning for Carissa Moore. She charges on through to the quarterfinals.
That is the turn of the whole day in my mind.
It's always tough coming up against a wild card because they're that X factor that doesn't really have any pressure, and especially to have someone from the area there, they know their spot, they're spot on, and so there definitely was a little bit of nerves.
I think what's really suiting Carissa is those two strong outside turns. We know she's got a massive power game, big laybacks and carves, and I just think that plays right into her favour at the moment.
In the next heat, rookie Isabella Nichols upset Tatiana Weston Webb.
Well, Isabella, you saw her just with a little mini fade and then a couple little sort of two-stage bottom turn to set up that first turn. It was nice and strong, and then she gets the opportunity to get a little bit more face work done where Tatiana's unfortunately just fizzled out a little bit. Isabella worked this one all the way through as we see Tatiana on the outside too, but see strong turn on the inside. So framing the wave really well. A good start and a good finish.
California's Caroline Marks won the last heat of the round and advanced to the quarterfinals.
Caroline Marks, great placement of that backside snap. Smart surfing from young Caroline. There's that end section. Quick hack there on the forehand as she'll finish.
My goal is to go all the way, but I'm just trying to take it heat by heat, and I'm just really grateful to be here and stoked to see a bunch of my friends and but stoked to see a bunch of people and just be surfing and be in the fresh air. It feels really nice, and yeah, so happy to be back competing. It feels amazing.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, the Newcastle Cup continues and the Brazilian Storm takes center stage.
Big ramp, tail high punt, stomps it.
Radical surfing from the Brazilian goofy footed.
Welcome back to Australia for the second stop on the World Surf League Championship Tour, the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup. On the men's side, it was the Brazilians who dominated the early rounds of competition. Italo Ferreira led the charge with his progressive attack.
And Italo Ferreira, always dynamic, riding high, 2 excellent scores for the reigning world champion.
I knew that was a hard heat, and they put everything on that, and yeah, I'm happy to make that one.
Also advancing to the quarterfinals were fellow Brazilians Gabriel Medina and Felipe Toledo.
The 2-time world champion is in motion right now.
Big lively float in the flats to seal the deal.
Yeah, he's claimed victory.
I'm happy with the win and I'm ready for the quarters.
Felipe Toledo, he just got his mojo back. There's something about his approach that the judges are loving. It's critical, it's powerful. Final quarterfinal place is going to be taken by Toledo here.
The local crowd rallied behind Morgan Siblick.
The local boys turned up today. Morgan Siblick continues his amazing run. A great performance from him.
Morgan Siblick is the giant killer of this tournament.
The rookie continued to impress and advanced to the quarterfinals.
Good news for Australia is just in. Australia's going to have a new rookie on the 2020 Championship Tour, Morgan Siblick. Welcome to the tour. How are you feeling?
Kind of freaking out right now, so I'm stoked.
The 21-year-old Australian is one of 3 rookies on the Men's Championship Tour. And everyone is asking the same question. Who is Morgan Siblick?
Who is Morgan Siblick? I think everyone's still trying to work that out.
He's quiet, he's humble, born and raised in the Meriwether Surfboard Club.
Black and blue, baby.
He graduated to the Championship Tour relatively unknown. So going into the first 2 events of the Triple Crown, he had this knee injury that he had to overcome, and he had to place well in those events, and he did it.
Morgan Siblick donning the knee brace on his front knee, carves through that first turn, no problem with the knee there.
And I think that was really the first glimpse that we got of Morgan. We started to realise that he's a kid with a steely determination who can overcome adversity.
Siblick, he has been on an incredible roll, and can he continue it? Stand up.
The rookie is proving he belongs on surfing's biggest stage.
He knows he's got to give it his best, and he did it. I think he surprised everyone when he overcame John Florence. John Florence waving the white flag there, congratulating the local boy. What a performance.
Oh, I'm feeling, I don't know what I'm feeling. It feels like I just won an event.
Kind of got this cool, sneaky, underground feeling to him, but I think that's sort of changed. He's in the spotlight now.
Morgan Siblick, he's been running through the contest looking really sharp, but the real hometown hero is Ryan Cullen. He grew up here. He is really entrenched in the local community, and he's much loved.
Yeah, I want to go as far as I can and just, listen to the crowd cheer me on.
The local knowledge of Ryan Cullen and Morgan Siblick have been paying off big time. The rush of the hometown crowd behind him, they're going to be really screaming their heads off.
As the quarterfinals are called on, Morgan takes on Newcastle native Ryan Callanan.
Morgan Siblick, the super rookie, taking down John Florence earlier in the contest. He's had a magic run to get to this point. And Ryan Callanan, born and bred Meriwether local, taking off now and tucking into the barrel. Will he find the exit? He does.
Ryan Callanan, nothing was going to punch him off that wave as he came out of that barrel.
As we see Morgan Siblick trying to get himself in the lead here. Needs a 6.67. Nice little finish. He got a 4.67, so he's chipped away at the requirement. Morgan on the inside now, gets another opportunity to chase down the score required. He's been so solid with the finishes throughout the event.
That's his best ride to date for me.
And he gets the number he needs, 5.70. Morgan moves into the lead. Ryan Callanan, he's going to be looking for a 4.88. He's going to have a crack at it on this wave.
Nice pocket turn to start things off. Drives out of it straight up into the second one and gets the fin release, so putting a little extra emphasis on that second turn.
And it's come in at a 4.87. And Ryan's run's going to come to a close here.
Yeah, I was stoked the scores on my way, and I got a couple little nugs on the inside, and yeah, real happy to make it through that one.
The quarterfinals continue with Gabriel Medina taking on 2015 world champion Adriano de Souza.
In recent years on the championship tour, the Brazilians have been super dominant. There's just something about the Brazilians and what they feel here when they come to Australia. They just always perform so well.
It's a classic world champ scene. You know, you've got Medina, the first Brazilian world champ, kind of taking on the godfather, you know, of that Brazilian storm, Adriano de Souza.
De Souza, here he goes, up into the hook, pushes hard on that back foot. Gabriel Medina here trying to find an answer.
But straight off the bottom, Gabriel, very critical in the pocket, times that second one perfectly and gets a very strong finish.
De Souza puts up a good fight, but Medina takes the heat win.
The reigning world champ Italo Ferreira takes on David Silva.
Italo Ferreira keeps pace with Medina and launches into the semifinals.
There's a big full rotation that he was looking for.
And the last quarterfinal comes down to the final exchange as American Connor Coffin is eliminated by Felipe Toledo. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, the women's quarterfinals get underway, and Hawaiian Carissa Moore makes history.
As we see, Carissa Moore, she surprised herself.
It's one of the best single manoeuvres we've seen in women's competition in years.
Welcome back to Australia for the second stop on the World Surf League Championship Tour, the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup, presented by Corona.
Big performances from some of the top seeds, but also a couple of big upsets.
In the early rounds, Hawaiian Carissa Moore set the pace.
Standout for me, for sure, is Carissa Moore. She'd been really pushing hard to do all her practice out the back.
That is the turn of the whole day in my mind.
We know she's got a massive power game, and I just think that plays right into her favour at the moment.
American Courtney Conlog eliminated rankings leader Tyler Wright.
That heat win was massive for Courtney. It can be awfully nerve-wracking when you hear a competitor on the inside putting scores up.
Tyler Wright, solid start and the lead.
Courtney opted to stick on the outside, and she executed really well.
This is exactly what the Sea Tiger was looking for.
And Brazilian Tatiana Weston-Webb was defeated by rookie Isabella Nichols.
I mean, I love surfing against Tati because I feel like of everyone on tour, I versed her the most, and she has pretty much beaten me every single time. When I saw that I had Tati, it was like I have an opportunity to kind of step up.
Isabella Nichols, the rookie, charging on through to the quarterfinals.
Isabella Nichols is the sole rookie on the Women's Championship Tour.
Beautiful wraps here on this inside section. That is a nice slam there.
Wow. We're down here with the new world champion, Isabella Nichols. How does it feel?
Oh, I'm so happy, man. Yeah, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
Nichols first appeared on the world stage with a win at the 2016 Junior Championships.
And what do you think this will mean for your surfing career?
Oh gosh, I don't know, but it's exciting.
Nichols was born and raised on Australia's Sunshine Coast.
Hello, I'm Isabella Nichols, and welcome to my home, crib, house. Come on in. I was raised on the Sunshine Coast, but born in Denmark. My mum's whole side of her family is from Denmark, and they're all Danish. Dad's an Aussie. I'm a little Viking at heart. I have a little fierce side, even though everyone thinks that I'm really like timid and relaxed. I can get really fiery.
Isabella's interests go beyond just surfing.
Let's do it. Let's learn some stuff.
The 23-year-old is pursuing a degree in engineering.
Yeah, so I want to use this to hopefully one day get into building wave pools. Hopefully one day I can invent my own. At the pace I'm going, it might take me a little while, but at least I'll come out the other side of my surfing career knowing that I've done something else and I have something else in my back sleeve.
a first-time competitor out here at Honolulu Bay.
Nichols is living out her dreams on the championship tour.
My highlight of my career, qualifying for the World Tour is my highlight.
She's no rookie in the grand scheme of surfing. She's been doing it forever on the QS, you know, Pro Junior Tour and all of that. But there's a big difference between the QS and the CT.
Obviously, I have like personal goals of doing really well on the tour, but I haven't really physically set myself. I want to be here. I just want to go out and perform each heat. I want to do my best. I want to show up, and I want to entertain. I got it in my hand.
Probably underneath. Always.
Right. I'm going to sit underneath. Right. It's crazy. When I was just starting surfing, like 13, 14, I was getting signatures from Steph. Now, like literally all the same girls that were at the top are still at the top. They're still my stars, but like I want to smoke them too.
Isabella is ready for her rookie moment on tour.
On paper, a heat that a lot of people would have already decided who the winner is. But Isabella's not your normal rookie. She seems unfazed by the big names. I think it's going to be a little closer than people think.
To watch first turn from Isabella Nichols, wrapping cutback.
Looking very spicy on those.
Well, Steph wants to answer because Isabella had that 6.67, already putting pressure on the 7-time world champ. Nice power hack from the rookie. Hits it off the lip again for a 2-turn combination.
The rookie feeling a little bit less pressure, and that's when they can do damage and come out of the gates firing.
Stephanie Gilmore needing a 7.9. Got a 6.0. Isabella Nichols takes down one of the biggest names in surfing.
You know, Isabella, she's on fire at the moment, surfing really well. I've watched her grow up on the Gold Coast, and yeah, she's just improved so much.
She's my absolute idol. I told her that at the end of the heat just then. So like to have heat against her, I'm just happy in itself. So the outcome for me is kind of an extra bonus.
As the quarterfinals continue, American Courtney Conlon is eliminated by Australian Keely Andrew.
We've got a roll in here from Keely Andrew. Nice first turn and squares it up for a finish real quick. Keely up again. Clean first turn. Now she'll set up another open face whip back up to the top. Her second time getting past Courtney Conlon as she moves on to the semifinals. Another big quarterfinal coming up next.
Also advancing is American Caroline Marks.
Well, here we go. It's Caroline Marks getting this first ride. Blasts that first section, drives off the bottom into the lip again. It's Caroline Marks, who'll be moving on through to the semi-finals to take on Carissa Moore. And what a semi-final clash that will be.
The last quarterfinal heat features 4-time world champion Carissa Moore against France's Joanne Defay.
Carissa Moore's going into the quarterfinal heats with a lot on the line. She can reclaim the top end of the leaderboard with Tyler Wright out of the contest. Carissa's going to get things started.
She started really, really strongly. Those 2 power turns.
As we see, Carissa Moore, she surprised herself.
Carissa just eyeing down the line, just perfect execution off the lip, gets great projection. It's one of the best single maneuvers we've seen in women's competition in years.
Oh my goodness, and in slow-mo you can really appreciate it. Have a look at the look on her face. What?
Look, I think this is great for Carissa. She's going to take away and go, you know what, I've nailed that. I'm going to do it again.
My air surfing and progressive surfing, my landing ratio isn't great, but it's something that if I can bring it out, for me just as a personal goal to improve my performance, it feels great.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we crown a men's champion at the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup.
Big frontside air reverse for Gabriel Medina. Shot for 3 and he gets it. Speeding up, looking for the full road again. His signature move on the backhand. A World Champs final starting now.
Welcome back to Australia for the second stop on the World Surf League Championship Tour, the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup. Earlier in the quarterfinals, Felipe Toledo won with a clutch performance in the dying minutes. Two-time world champion Gabriel Medina continued to add to his highlight reel. Reigning world champion Italo Ferreira relied on his air game and advanced. There's no denying the Brazilian Storm has asserted its dominance on the beaches of Meriwether.
We're seeing total Brazilian dominance. You know, Ferreira's looking on fire, Toledo looks great, and obviously the world champ, the top of the draw, going to be deadly.
The first semifinal features Brazilian Gabriel Medina versus Australian Morgan Siblick.
Rolling in now, first wave of the semifinal. Medina backhand float. First score for Medina, a 5.0. Quick reaction time for Siblick to try to get on the board. Morgan did open with a 7 on his forehand. Gabriel Medina's last 6.07, trying to put some pressure on Morgan Siblick.
And here he goes on a left.
Big frontside air reverse for Gabriel Medina. Shot for 3 and he gets it.
This is unbelievable.
Gabriel Medina, another final back-to-back to kick off his 2021 world title campaign.
Semifinal 2 is an all-Brazilian matchup, as reigning world champion Italo Ferreira faces Felipe Toledo.
Medina already into the final. Now it's Italo versus Felipe.
Oh, he goes into just a slashing cutback.
Toledo 6-5 start.
And here we see Toledo again, Joe.
There's that first turn off the top. Toledo cleaned that up quite well for 2 turns. Now Ferreira speeding out the back. This one stretched out a bit more. The best wave of the heat so far. Still doesn't have the lead because Italo's counting a 3-1-7.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Italo finding a speedy left. There's that throw tail reverse. He nails it. A big whip, full rotation reverse for Ferreira. That thing is as radical as it gets.
We're going to have another Italo Medina final. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, the world champs.
Brazilians Gabriel Medina and Italo Ferreira are the last men standing. These two heavyweights continue to clash on surfing's biggest stage. In their first CT final, Medina defeated Ferreira with a near-perfect performance at Jeffreys Bay.
Right into a heavy finishing move. Medina hangs on.
Their 2019 matchup in the Pipe Masters Finals was one for the history books.
World number 1 going up against world number 2 for a world title showdown.
Italo Ferreira, backdoor, backside, yeah!
Italo just did a Medina on Medina.
Here we go. Gabriel Medina looking for this one. He is going to get it. And Medina disappears and comes out.
Rolling in now is Italo, deep in pipeline, big section.
Wow, Italo Ferreira, you absolute freak. Your Billabong Pipe Master champion and new world champion, Italo Ferreira.
These guys are building a really, really insane rivalry.
Victories did not come any sweeter than that.
Gabriel, competitive cyborg, just a machine.
I'm back.
Italo, he overamps and it seems like he can't think straight at times. But somehow he's managed to harness that energy and make it work for him. I just think that we're in for a special show this year.
The final is a Brazilian battle for the men's Rip Curl Newcastle Cup.
Medina and Italo find themselves in the final and another battle. A world champs final starting now. There's a big vertical turn from Medina, quick to the top again. Rapid fire on that backhand of Medina.
Gabriel Medina has come up with an excellent score.
Italo with the answer. Casual hook, deep off the bottom. Little more power in that hack. driving into that section. Nice fading cutback. Ferreira, one of the most creative surfers on tour, finds a fin throw reverse. Here's that left into a big section, a speedy throw tail reverse.
Italo has taken the lead, but very slender lead because Gabriel Medina's got that 8.6 and just got a 4.67. Italo trying to extend his lead. What's he going to do, Joe?
Speeding up, looking for the full road again. His signature move on the backhand.
A backhand rotation. He got a 7.77.
We're enjoying Medina flying through the sky. A tough transition. Medina with 5 seconds needs a 6.34.
I wouldn't count him out.
There's a big section, throws it vertically. First reaction, Rabbit, is going to be close to the score.
No.
Just a 3-point ride, and it is official. Your champion of the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup, Italo Ferreira.
Talk to me about these matchups you're having with Gabriel. It's turning into one of the best rivalries we have in the sport. They must be fun to be a part of.
Yeah, this guy's a machine, and he pushed me a lot, and yeah, it's gonna be a good run for sure.
With the win, Italo Ferreira moves to the top of the leaderboard. And Gabriel Medina sits in second.
The final between Italo and Gabriel went just as expected. Big numbers and really exciting surfing.
With both Medina and Ferreira still in their prime, this is a rivalry we can look forward to for years to come.
World number 1, your champion, Italo Ferreira.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up next,
and she winds through another big carve and finds room for a third.
We crown a women's champion at the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup.
Really got to turn this wave into something special. Well, this score might be an 8 already.
Welcome back to Australia for the second stop on the World Surf League Championship Tour, the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup.
Finals day here at Meriwether, the sun is shining.
Earlier in the quarterfinals, Hawaiian Carissa Moore made history by pushing women's surfing to new heights.
As we see, Carissa Moore, she surprised herself.
For me personally, I like to be able to keep pushing myself and you know, my performances and stuff. That's what means the most to me and is the most satisfying.
And 7-time world champion Stephanie Gilmore was upset by rookie Isabella Nichols.
Gilmore slips on the first turn. Isabella Nichols takes down one of the biggest names in surfing.
Steph's my idol. She was the first surfer that I looked up to as a kid. Even like at the end of that heat, I told her like, it's just surreal surfing against her. And I knew she's gonna be really hard to beat. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
The first semifinal features Isabella Nichols versus Australian Keely Andrew.
Isabella Nichols and Keely Andrew have been on a giant-killing run to reach this point in the competition. Keely using her priority.
Clean open face here, gets a nice rail turn there.
Isabella's on the outside, she takes a fall. Keely Andrew milking this one right through to the inside.
She saw more opportunity and then slams it again, hits the lip. Decent ride there for Keely Andrew.
All right, Isabella Nichols rolling in from deep, long drawn out turn, gets the second section, crunches it. So she's done the good stuff out the back. 2 turns for Isabella, and they're pretty good ones.
That second section, that was a very important turn.
Yeah, probably 5.5 points of the 6.67 were on that finishing manoeuvre. She's got the highest single score of the heat so far.
Keely Andrew, big open face carve through plenty of water, left a great track on the face.
Nice turn to get this wave going. And this one actually opened up all the way through to the inside.
Scores for Keely Andrew, a 6.30. So Keely back into the lead. It's a seesawing affair right now.
As we see Isabella having a shot at it. First turn is solid. Job done so far, but we'll want to add more to this to make it a definite decision in the judges' minds. This wave's starting to fade away. Did she do enough on the outside section?
I feel like that one turn, super dynamic, Ron.
Isabella Nichols is getting the jump on Keely Andrew here to make her first championship tour final.
I made a few mistakes out there, which I thought was going to cost me the heat in the end, but I mean, when luck goes your way, luck goes your way.
Semifinal 2 is a matchup between American Caroline Marks and four-time world champion Carissa Moore.
Semifinal number 2, the winner of this heat will go up against Isabella Nichols.
Caroline Marks just taking to the pocket, driving off the bottom, and just a little late to the party on that second turn and just engulfed in the whitewash.
Carissa Moore on the outside, using her priority.
Carissa with that first big wrap back into the power source. And again, just some open face work here because she saw this oncoming section coming at her and then just jams on the back fins. It's amazing to watch. Carissa just pressing so hard.
And she did drop an excellent score with this wave. We've got Caroline Marks taking off. Caroline's trying to get herself back in this heat. That wave's not going to do it for her. Carissa Moore, good looking section, and Carissa lights up that first turn and goes to the rail. Huge carve, draws it into the pocket.
Totally on point, committed rail surfing, big outside sections. She's done it all.
9.37 is the score. Carissa Moore. Everyone's going to be putting their hands together down here on the beach because that was exceptional stuff.
Hawaiian Carissa Moore faces Australian Isabella Nichols in the final.
The rookie Isabella Nichols, she's into her first championship tour final, and now she's facing the most informed surfer in the world at the moment, Carissa Moore. Her run through to the final has been nothing short of brilliant, and Carissa's got that priority. She opts to go. Let's see what she can do with it. Drops to the bottom, gets moving quickly, wants to get this big first turn done, and it's a beauty. Again, up into the pocket, and she winds through another big carve and finds room for a third.
That was an amazing wave, and that just gave her perfect opportunity. That wrapping cutback, and a third just grinding it round back into the whitewash. Amazing stuff here.
9.5, just extremely powerful on the outside. Isabella Nichols is up, and she's really got to turn this wave into something special to have a shot in the dying stages here. This one's closing out. Meanwhile, Carissa's up again. Carissa just looks so electric on her equipment.
Yeah, she does. She looks fast.
Things just haven't gone Isabella's way. This will be her best ride yet.
It's her best ride, but she never got to that second turn. And just look at Carissa going straight off the bottom. Just so fast, so much power.
Carissa Moore is the champion here at the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup. It is just massive, the performance that she put together.
This year is going to be a great race and a good title showdown at the end of the year. I hope I make it there, and it feels so good to be standing number one at the end of this contest.
Carissa's been on this magic run, creating more history, more excellent heat scores, 24th championship tour win, and I don't see her slowing down.
Now with a big win here at Newcastle, I'd like to introduce your champion, Carissa Moore.
With the win, Carissa Moore moves to the top of the leaderboard. Isabella Nichols moves from 10th to 3rd. That's a wrap from Newcastle. Tune in for the next episode of WSL Presents as the road to the finals continues with the third stop on the championship tour, the Rip Curl Narrabeen Classic. For all things surfing, make sure you log on to worldsurfleague.com. Don't miss a wave.
He tucks into the barrel, North Narrabeen turning on.
Oh my goodness.